The teacher that spoils the air has given his students an assignment to taunt him. Welcome to another episode. Today we're going to page 7 of the Punch of Saturday, July 28th to August 9, 1979. And like I said before, I think the price at that time was 50 pesos, if I'm right. Let's check it. Yes, 50 pesos, but in 1976 it was 10 pesos. You see how we are moving upward as the time goes upwards as the time goes on, thanks to IMF. What do we have on page 7? We have here politics of one man, 10 bread. That's the punch. Politics of one man, 10 bread, loaves of bread, but he says 10 bread. Here it is. Politics of one man, 10 bread in inverted commas. Then we have under it, who was the writer? By Zaya Ibo, University of Ghana, Legon. Then we have under it basis. Then we have still another big title, The Prayer of Barnabas. The Prayer of Barnabas. Unfortunately, again, the paper, like I've always said, has been perforated throughout all the pages. But we'll see what we can make out of it. Okay. Politics of one man, 10 bread. Events since the 5th of July 1978, to a large extent, have been significant indicators to the fact that democracy, as it is understood, is bourgeois societies, as it is understood in bourgeois societies like Ghana, is unworkable and is to the detriment of majority of the people. Paragraph. The first step towards civilian rule, as it's called, was for supposed to be as it is called, but here it is as its. Okay, let me see if I can correct it. The first step towards civilian rule, as it is called, was for the SMC. SMC here means Supreme Military Council. Ghanaians know it quite well. Was for the by Achampon, or in Achampon's regime. As it is called, was for the SMC under the General Akufo to organize the district council elections. Well, it was first for with Achampon, then later on SMC to Akufo when he toppled Achampon in a military takeover. That's a member of government toppling the government. That was Akufo. Okay. Akufo to organize the district council election. Let me take that again. The first step towards civilian rule, as it is called, was for the SMC under the late General Akufo to organize the district council elections. Full stop. Remember, he's late because Lawrence killed him. Okay. The rather low turn out of the elections was erroneously attributed to the absence of parties. But what I saw as a prohibiting factor was the fantastic amount of 500 cities demanded from all prospective candidates. 500 cities. Today, 500 cities is nothing. It can't buy anything. Mm. It's not even good for travel within Ghana, if I'm right. Mm. Okay. Amount of 500 cities demanded from all prospective candidates. Paragraph. This meant that a man who had very lofty ideas and a spirit of sacrifice to his district was disqualified if he could not afford 500 cedis. It was big amount that time. How much was I taking? I can't remember, but it was not up to 100 cedis. No, far less. Mm. Well, that's when I was working at the subsistence in the secondary school. I can't remember. Maybe a few cedis. Okay, paragraph. So we find that most of the people who contested and won these elections were from a certain category of of societal ladder. Then full stop. Then the next letter, the next letter is small letter. I don't know. From societal letter, full stop. Then to wit, comma, lawyers, businessmen, into brackets, calibly, civil, no, the full stop shouldn't be there. Let me take it again. Uh, so we find that most of the people who contested and won these elections were from a certain category of the societal ladder, to wit, lawyers, businessmen, into brackets, calabule, civil servants, teachers, and the like. Full stop. This full stop is now correct. Paragraph. It's as a result of this that membership of the Constituent Assembly was made up of people from this same class, of ABTE class, from this class of ABTE class. ABTE means some are living well. Ghana was very difficult in those days. So those people, the class is talking of here was called a BTE, meaning some are living well. Okay, paragraph. Therefore, when one hears that the assembly voted Cam- Cameron Dodu's motion on press freedom in inverted commas, on press freedom, one should not be surprised, because some of the people in the assembly have contributed in no small way to our present plight. They have collaborated with Syrians, Lebanese, and foreign companies and banks to dupe the country. You can trust Ghanaians. Okay. Then we come to the portion called basis. Here it starts with basis. Now I come to the basis. Therefore, they had something to hide. How could they then? How could they then give journalists the power to expose them? Mhm. It is from this angle that one must look at the problem. It is from this angle that one must look at the problem. Mm. The rich have something to hide, to defend their illegally acquired property. Yes, illegally acquired property. Paragraph. Again, we have just had the shock. Again, we've just had the shock of our lives to learn that a presidential candidate was expected to deposit 10,000 cedis and participate, sorry, 10,000 cedis and parliamentary candidate 2,500 cedis. Full stop. 10,000 cedis. Today, almost every Ghanaian, let me say almost, most Ghanaians can provide 10,000 cedis within the twinkle of an eye, very easily. Mm. Okay, and 2,500, that's for parliamentary candidates. Okay, the paradox of it all is that the degree the paradox of it all is that the decree on political parties required that members do not contribute above a stipulated sum of money. Full paragraph. So, assuming that Mr. A has very good plans for his constituency and the country as a whole, he has he has to go around looking for 2,500 cedis. Full stop. This is short of, this is, sorry, I'm sorry, viewers, I'm sorry. This, in short, means that only the rich can be presidents of Ghana or MPs for that matter. It's still the same. I don't know, complaints of those days were not founded. I don't know. It's still the same today. Now the price has been raised to millions. Mm. Mm. Yes, I think to millions. Okay. Ghana for MPs for that matter. Paragraph. So we find that those who contested the district council elections as well as the June election came from the privileged group in the society. Paragraph. Ambitious Ghanaians who cannot afford these fantastic sums of money have to go to foreign countries or fall on local businessmen and Lebanese for finance. West, oh, where is this? West, do we, oh, it is what? I'm sorry. It's partly erased. Paper is old. What do we expect such people to do when they come to power? Of course, they will loot and pay back to the Lebanese and whoever their sponsors are. Mm. Okay. Then it comes to another column, campaigns. Campaigns. That is not all. The various parties have to resort to sophisticated means of electioneering campaigns. Full stop. No, no. It's a full stop there. I don't know. Okay. Campaigns, advertisement, and printing CDs. Sorry, and printing costs are the high, and the printing costs are so high that only rich, I think it means the rich, rich inverted commas, only rich parties, yeah, I am saying that. Only rich parties could really stand for a just cause and are prepared to sacrifice for a better tomorrow, cannot do so. I can't understand this. Should I take it again? That is not all. The various parties have to resort to sophisticated means of electioneering campaigns. Full stop. Advertisement, advertisement and printing costs are so high that only rich parties who really stand for a just cause and are prepared to sacrifice for a better tomorrow, cannot, hmm, okay, let me read what I see, cannot do so because we are playing the politics of the rich. And when money becomes the basis of any activity, it loses its value and takes on another form. Full stop, paragraph. Full stop, then paragraph. Those who have the money can organize tax, buy them, buy them alcoholic beverages, and assure them of legal protection, and send them out to terrorize opponents. Yes, that's Ghanaian politics. It's still there. It's happening today. I bet you. Hmm? It's happening today. Okay. Paragraph. This is the dirty aspect of politics, and this has manifested itself and taken roots because the social struct because the social structure encourages this kind of electioneering. I think it should be the social structure, but here it is social structure because this. Let me correct it. Because the social structure encourages this kind of electioneering. Full stop. Uh, to all intents and purposes, the workers and farmers in the country are left out. They cannot play any meaningful role except shouting empty and meaningless slogan which they do not understand. Full stop. Because of financial constraints, the poor give in to and are ready to follow any crook, any crook who can promise them a few cities. It's still the same thing today. This was 78 paper, 79 paper. It's still the same thing today. Probably even worse. Promise them a few cities. Paragraph. The people are not part and parcel. The people are not part and parcel. And the people are not part and parcel of the party. The leaders stand further apart from the people and have different aspirations for the future. Paragraph. The leaders want power so that they can defend their class position. Mm, okay. Uh, on the other hand, the people the people see the party as a mechanism for bettering their lots. Once they realize that this is not possible, they relapse into cynicism. It's still today. It's still the same today. There are no jobs in this country, so everybody follows a particular political party in order to living, to make a living. People have no jobs. You see, everybody is support parties, either this party A or party B, in order to make a living. It's still today. It's still the same today. I'm sorry. Pardon me. Still the same today. No difference. and it may be even worse tomorrow because even today is worse than it was in 1978. Mm. Okay, cynicism. Paragraph. So, we find that when a party is voted into power, it cannot easily mobilize the people for development. Full stop. Any party which fails to mobilize human resources as a first step but in goes into import tractors and bulldozers will be wasting resources. Okay. Now, to my thinking, to my thinking, the basic principles of democracy will be negated if this trend of affairs constitutes full stop. No, it's not constitutes continuous. I'm sorry, viewers. It's my mistake. If this trend of affairs continues, full stop, to a what sort of English is to a accent, full stop, then new sentence, to a extent, no. The N is visibly absent, is visibly absent, conspicuously absent. So it is to an extent, let me correct, to an extent, it will mean, to an extent, it will mean that we are only giving votes to the ordinary masses to decide which members of the ABTA, into brackets, well-to-do should rule. It does not invite the poor to take part in government. We are coming to the header. Mockery. And you can see part of it is done. Mockery. You can see mockery here. Under it is done. You see how the paper is difficult to read. All this place is dark. Then we have mockery. And we may have to jump or represent words by da, 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 da. Mockery is here. Mockery is here. Okay, let's see if we have to skip the area. I don't know. Mockery. When a group of privileged members go to parliament, they think of nothing but parliamentary privileges for themselves. Yes, it's still the same today. Mm. This is this to me is a mockery of democracy. Full stop. Is voting a device to choose which parliamentary to okay. Oh, I think we should just leave that area. We should just leave that area and go and then go ahead of that. Okay. Campaign for votes without money serving as a hindrance hindrance to their desire to serve the nation. Okay, I think we are going to a better part now. Okay, paragraph. Unless and until this is done, we cannot have anything to be proud of. Full stop. So, it will mean that those who have it will mean that those who are proven to be of doubtful integrity and who did not conduct themselves to the good of the nation will come back to power. Yeah, will come back to power. I think I'm right. Okay. Uh, such people cannot give. Such people cannot give the masses power. Such people cannot give the masses power, food, uh, food, clothing, and shelter. Cannot give the people power, food. Cannot give the masses power. No, such people cannot give the masses power, food, clothing, and shelter. Mm. Okay. It is only the genuine representatives. It is only the genuine representative is singular. It is only the genuine representative of the masses who can fight for the masses. All others are opponents, pretenders, comma, what have you? All the others are opponents, pretenders, what have you? Okay. Mm, okay. Paragraph. It is therefore It is therefore my submission that if we want a good government in the Third Republic, comma, money should cease to be a natural disqualification. Yes, money in inverted commas. So maybe not pure cash only. Mm. Money should cease to be a natural disqualification. Full stop. Politics, in this case, will be for the rich and not for the poor. And this will make mockery of the principle of one man, one vote. Okay, paragraph. As someone rightly observed, the principle of one man, one vote is meaningless unless it is linked up with the principles of one man, one bread. So we come to the title. We come to the title now. We'll go back to the title, which is Politics of One Man, One Bread. Politics of One Man, One Bread. Mhm. So it's reflected here. Let's see. Let me repeat that. As someone rightly observed, the principle of one man, one vote is meaningless unless it is linked up with the principle of one man, one bread. Okay. A government of the rich is for the rich. A government of the rich is for the rich. And such a government operates on the philosophy 10 men, one bread. 10 men, one bread. What is the title? The title is Politics of One Man, 10 Bread. I think it's the same thing. Politics of One Man, 10 Bread. And here it is the government of the rich. Uh, yes, the philosophy of 10 men, one bread. No, it's inverted here. Here is one man, one bread. And here is 10 bread. Here is 10 men, one bread. The title is One Man, 10 Bread. And here it is 10 men, one bread. Okay, I now understand it. Mm. On the other hand, some people will the principle of one man, 10 bread is applied. While on the other hand, at the lower class level, it is 10 men, one bread. Yes, understandable. Okay, uh, where is it? 10 men, one bread for the masses, and for them, 10 men, one bread for the masses, and one man, 10 bread for themselves. Okay, he's explained it here. For the masses, it is 10 men, one bread, and for themselves, it is one man, 10 bread. That's for the politicians, rich politicians. I love that. Uh, for themselves, that's in the brackets, the rich. Such a government is unjust. Such a government is unjust. Rulers, oh God, what is this? Let's see. Such a government is unjust. Rulers do not deserve to be sustained by any theoretical conceptions of democracy. I think viewers can do their own corrections. Huh? Yes, let me see. Such a government for the masses. Such a government is unjust. It doesn't make much sense to me. Such a government is unjust rulers, or is it and its unjust rulers do not deserve? I think such a government and its unjust rulers do not deserve to be sustained by any theoretical conceptions of democracy. The correction is mine because this what is here doesn't make sense to me. Okay, last paragraph. If that happens, it will only confirm the Marxist position that the modern state is an erective for the management of the affairs of the bourgeoisie. Sorry, this word I used to call it well. Of the bourgeoisie. Bourgeoisie is spelled Bourgeoists. Bourgeoisie. I think that's better pronunciation. Okay. We go to our next story. I think here the dark part of the paper is still there, but not the perforated part. Okay, the prayer of Barnabas. That's the next story. It will be. Pardon me. It was too far. The prayer of Barnabas. It will recall on the 5th of July 1979, Apostle Barnabas of the Christ Believers Press prayed to the Lord Almighty to anoint Victor Owusu as the president in the Third Republic. Good stop. He went on to say that God should not choose rulers who do not believe in him. He reminded God that because of one man, millions had to suffer, and said, for Jesus Christ and Muhammad, Christ is the way. He said, for Jesus Christ and Muhammad, Christ is the way. Paragraph. Furthermore, Barnabas prayed that God should change the minds of Frank Bernasco, Diamond Addy, Hilson, empower Willie to vote for Victor Owusu. He was the presidential candidate of, I've forgotten the name of the party at that time, to vote for Victor Owusu. All these people have long been forgotten. Life is meaningless. Okay. Lastly, Barnabas said, for the sake of Dr. Safo Edu, who proved to be honest in the same government with Victor Owusu, God should save the people. Then we have inverted commas. Lord, we need not legalize dictatorship again. Lord, we need not legalize dictatorship again. The prayer of Barnabas. Oh, I've shown it already. The prayer of Barnabas. I thought it was Barnabas in the Bible, but it isn't. It's Barnabas of our days, of our world. Okay. Then paragraph. Dictatorship again. Then paragraph. It's also interesting how a religious bigot like Apostle Barnabas tries to give the impression that the majority of Ghanaians crept in unawareness when they gave their mandates to PNP in the June 18th parliamentary elections. I'm aware, sorry, the mistake is mine. I am sure that all Apostle Barnabas had, I'm sure that if Apostle Barnabas had his guts, he would have known that Ghana is a heterogeneous religious society. It's a heterogeneous religious society, and therefore using Christ as a political campaign is a mere daydream. I agree with the writer. Paragraph. God all-knowing, all-loving, is aware of all the people on earth, and he alone is the final judge. Yes, that's the punch. It's punching Barnabas. That's the punch. Okay. Paragraph. To go further, Barnabas should know that Jesus, during his lifetime, never took sides in political affairs. In the first elections, Barnabas prayed that Mr. William Ofori Atta should be a choice for the Third Republic. So you see, here Barnabas seems to be an opportunist. That's politics for the belly, politics of the belly. Okay, Atta should be a choice for the Third Republic. Paragraph. In the second ballot, Barnabas again prayed that Mr. Victor Owusu should be anointed as the leader. It's not clear, but does Barnabas mean that only people with Christian names can be good leaders? I remember this article. It's a long time. I remember this article very well. Okay. Paragraph. Again, Mr. Barnabas, what makes you feel that Victor Owusu could not be a good leader in the first ballot but B in the second ballot. Mhm. We still have those things today. It doesn't change. Mm. Okay, the next column is dictatorship. Dictatorship. Whom are you fooling? Okay, I'm reading what I say. I don't know whether it is who are you fooling or whom are you feeling. I don't know whether it's whom are you fooling or who are you fooling. But let me read what I see. My English can go bad anyway. So, whom are you fooling? Let it be known to Barnabas that the voice of the people is the voice of God. Barnabas also talks legal about legalized dictatorship. Full stop. Does it mean there was legalized dictatorship in 1969 when 104 seats were won by the PFP, Busia chosen prime minister and Akufo-Addo elected president call and Akufo-Addo elected president into brackets all of the same party. PFP, I think it's Front Party, People's Front Party. So into brackets all of the same party. Then paragraph. But one may ask, since when has Barnabas shifted from a prophetic gymnast to a constitutional expert? This is a clergyman dabbling in politics. It doesn't work. It doesn't sound well. Okay. But it's still happening today. I tell you. I am in Ghana now. I know it's still happening. Okay. Okay. Paragraph. That is not the first time Barnabas has lost his normal fiber as a religious leader. Paragraph. We'll get to the dark side. Out of out of impet out of out of impetuosity and the ignorance that he is that he is Barnabas uh, he is Barnabas correlated the shooting incident at the Accra railway station is full stop. Okay. Viewers, pardon me. Maybe you can make a meaning out of it. Uh, in which a student died. Hey, in which a student died. In which a student died with the price of vandalism and to im- failed to impress the readers that the shooting of the shooting of Mr. Otu at the High Street Bank was the price of queuing. Was the price of queuing? Yeah, we used to queue for most commodities in those days. Okay. And like I say, in those days, shooting was very common because Rollins started shooting everywhere. Anybody he disliked. The price of queuing. Okay, paragraph. One can only one can only liken this to cheap and irres irresponsible. Oh, and here it is irresponsible. Okay, to cheap and irresponsible journalism, devoid of any strategic or devoid of any scientific analysis of issues at stake. Scientific analysis of issues at stake. Mm. New sentence, a full stop. Then, with the results of the voting, with the result of the voting declared, with the results of the voting declared, Barnabas should consider himself first a false prophet, and should know that God listens to those with upright conviction, not dubiously gloated intentions. Mm, not dubiously not dubiously cloaks intentions. Cloak spelled Cloaked. Not dubiously cloaked intentions. Paragraph. Mind you, God is all knowing. To conclude, full stop. To conclude, let it be done. To conclude, let it be done on Barnabas that the 1979 parliamentary election was not between Jesus Christ and Muhammad. Was not between Jesus Christ and Muhammad, but Victor Owusu and Hila Liman. And it will be sheer fanatism to bore the electorate and to hoodwink them with medieval Christian political pranks. Okay, last but one paragraph. Biblical Barnabas was a notorious thief. Biblical Barnabas was a notorious thief and murdered. Was a notorious thief and murderer. Biblical Barnabas was a notorious thief and murderer, offered by Pilate to die, offered by Pilate to die in place of Jesus, but was restrained by the erratic and politically confused Jews, but was was retained by the erratic and politically confused Jews. Last paragraph. But God of my heart, but God of my heart, forgive, but God of my heart, forgive Barnabas of Ghana, for he knows not what he is doing. I remember this writing, yes. And the writer is who? Mike. The writer is who? Mike Denu. The writer is Mike Denu, Commonwealth Hall, Legon. So Mike Denu, Commonwealth Hall, Legon. I hope you are still alive, and I hope you have a chance to read this piece that you wrote in 1978, thereabout. Here we have National Insurance Trust, Social Security and National Insurance Trust, Workers' Note. Yes, you can see why I'm finding it difficult to read this paper. Workers' Note. With inflation creating holes in your pocket. Note with inflation, creating notes in your pocket and savings, an impossible dream. Today, the Social Security scheme is your only weapon against the roughs and tumbles of tomorrow. Do you want it? Do you want to spend your Social Security savings today and lose the fight to the inflation monster tomorrow? Think about this. Life could be harder. I think that's all for this page. And pardon me for bad reading. We will end here. May God bless you all.